They say legends aren't born in gyms and they're mopped into existence. And on one perfectly ordinary day, inside a gym where dumbbells clanged and egos flexed, a man named Anatoly decided to rewrite the rulebook of reality. Not with a barbell, not with a bench press, but with a 32-kilogram yellow mop. Imagine this. A bright yellow bucket rolls in through the gym doors, squeaking wheels echoing across the floor. No one even notices. The trainers keep yelling, "One more rep." The influencers keep filming their third take of leg day motivation. But behind that mop hides a man who's about to make everyone question the laws of physics and sanity. Now, Anatoly wasn't just any guy. He was the kind of man who could lift your expectations and your gym floor at the same time. He'd spent weeks preparing this prank. The mission? Pretend to be a janitor, mop the gym floor casually, and then, when the moment's right, reveal superhuman strength. But not in a boring movie way, no. In the Anatoly way, and where chaos meets comedy, and science politely steps aside. That morning, he put on the uniform, a dull gray hoodie, worn-out sneakers, and a fake name tag that simply read, Tony Maintenance. In his hand, the legendary yellow mop, secretly engineered with 32 kilograms of hidden weight. Most people would struggle to lift it with one arm. Anatoly? He planned to clean the entire gym with it like it was made of clouds. As he walked in, no one paid attention. The receptionist waved without looking up. A couple doing curls gave him the classic janitor nod. The only sound was music blasting through speakers, something about no pain, no gain. And yet, here was Anatoly, smiling under his hoodie, ready to deliver maximum pain to their pride. He dipped the mop into the bucket, pretending to clean around the treadmills. His movements were slow, casual, a man completely invisible in a world of flexing bodies. But if you looked closer, you'd notice the veins on his forearms popping as he lifted the mop. You'd notice that mop handle wasn't moving normally, and you'd probably wonder, wait, why does that janitor look like he's deadlifting? Then it began. The first reaction. A guy near the bench press stopped mid-set, staring in disbelief. Yo, bro, that mop? Heavy? Anatoly shrugged, pretending not to understand. He mopped harder. The metal base clanked softly every time it touched the ground. Then, casually, Anatoly spun the mop in one hand, a 32-kilogram spin that made the barbell guy's brain short-circuit. Word spread fast. Within minutes, the gym's natural ecosystem shifted. Influencers lowered their cameras. Trainers stopped shouting. Even the front desk lady peeked over the counter. Every eye in that room turned toward the mysterious janitor who was casually defying human mechanics. One guy tried to join the fun. "Let me see that mop, bro." He laughed, walking over confidently. Anatoly nodded and handed it over, poker face on. The man grabbed it and instantly regretted every decision that led him here. His wrist twisted, his face froze, and he whispered, "What the is this made of?" Anatoly just shrugged again, picking up a towel. "It's just water, bro. Heavy water." The gym erupted. Laughter, disbelief, cameras were all out. Someone yelled, "Yo, this guy's cleaning with a deadlift." Others started recording. Within minutes, half the gym was filming him, and the other half was trying to lift the mop like King Arthur's sword. No one could. Anatoly started mopping again, like nothing happened. Each stroke looked effortless, but every time he swung that mop, it sent shockwaves of confusion through the crowd. Trainers started whispering about core strength. Someone even said, "This man's mop has better form than I do." As minutes turned into moments of viral gold, Anatoly escalated the prank. He pretended to stretch, lifting the mop like a javelin, then twirling it over his shoulder. Clean, controlled, cinematic. The music changed to some random EDM remix, as if the universe itself decided to drop a beat for his performance. The gym was no longer a gym. It was a theater, and the janitor, he was the main act. People started cheering. "Let's go, mop guy! Bro's built different." Janitor supremacy. The whole place was alive. But Anatoly wasn't done. Oh no. This was just the warm-up. Because behind the mop, behind the hoodie, and behind that innocent smile, he had planned the grand finale. But the thing about Anatoly, he doesn't stop where normal people stop. For him, the moment when everyone's jaws hit the gym floor, That's just intermission. Because when the laughter is loudest, when every camera is rolling, when disbelief has peaked, that's when he strikes again. The music faded for a second. A trainer tried to restore order. "All right, people, let's focus. We've got work to..." Thud. The sound of metal on tile. Everyone turned. Anatoly had just lifted the mop bucket with one hand, the whole bucket, sloshing water dripping, gleaming yellow in the light, swinging like it weighed nothing. Gasps. Screams. Someone dropped their protein shake. "No way! No way!" And there he was, the janitor who was never supposed to matter, standing in the middle of the gym, bucket in one hand, mop in the other. An everyday object turned into an instrument of chaos. He didn't say a word, just looked around, smiled under the hood, and started cleaning the mirror, with the bucket still in one hand. That's when it happened, the moment that turned a gym prank into legend. A group of lifters gathered around, whispering theories. Maybe the mop's hollow? "No, bro, I tried it. It's solid steel." What if he's not human? What if he's like an undercover superhero? Then came one brave soul, the alpha of the dumbbell rack, a mountain of protein powder in human form. "All right, let me see that mop again." Anatoly tilted his head, silently handed it over. The man gripped it, squatted a little, and tried to lift. The mop didn't move. His arms shook, his face turned red. People started chanting, "Lift the mop! Lift the mop!" Phones were out. Cameras zoomed, and then, mid-struggle, Anatoly leaned over casually, grabbed the mop with 2 fingers, lifted it like a toothpick, and whispered, "You missed leg day." The crowd exploded. It was pure cinematic perfection. Laughter, shock, disbelief, and the sound of a legend being born right there between the dumbbells and the treadmills. But Anatoly wasn't finished. Oh no. He wanted a finale worthy of YouTube immortality. He glanced toward the squat rack, empty, waiting, glowing under the fluorescent lights. He walked over slowly, the mop resting across his shoulders like a barbell. Every step echoed like the march of destiny. The room fell silent. Even the EDM paused, almost respectfully. Then, with perfect form, Anatoly stepped under the bar. But instead of squatting under it, he placed the mop on the rack like it was Olympic equipment. He adjusted his stance, inhaled deeply, and began to squat with the mop. 32 kilograms of ridiculousness, balance, and sheer confidence, every rep more dramatic than the last. His hoodie stretched, his veins popped, and the audience lost its collective mind. "Let's go, Mop Man! He's cleaning gains! Sweep that pride!" One guy even saluted him. By now, the prank had transformed from confusion to celebration. Phones were out, TikToks were being born in real time, and the entire gym was chanting in rhythm with his squats. 1, 2, 3. And then Anatoly stopped, slowly stood upright, dropped the mop to the ground with a dramatic clang. The sound echoed like the final note of a movie soundtrack. He pulled off his hoodie. The crowd gasped. Underneath, the unmistakable physique of Anatoly himself, the viral prankster, the master of gym chaos, the man whose videos had millions of views. Someone screamed, "Bureau, it's him! It's Anatoly!" The gym went absolutely wild. People ran to shake his hand, to take selfies, to ask if the mop was real. Anatoly just grinned, looked into one of the cameras filming him, and said calmly, "Remember, it's not about how heavy the weight is. It's about how light you make it look. Mic drop, mop drop, scene end." He walked out the same way he came in, quiet, unbothered, a janitor turned myth, disappearing into the sunlight outside. But behind him, the internet was already catching fire. Clips spread across social media in hours. Hashtags appeared. Mop Man or gym janitor legend, Anatoly strength. People debated online whether it was staged, whether the mop was fake, whether anyone could replicate it. Spoiler, no one could. Within days, memes appeared. Merch followed. Someone even edited his clip into a motivational speech. If he can mop 32 kilograms, you can clean your excuses. But the real power of the prank wasn't the mop. It was the message, hidden under the laughter and disbelief. That strength doesn't always roar. Sometimes it mops quietly, unnoticed, until it decides to reveal itself. And that's the Anatoly effect. He doesn't just prank people, he makes them question what's possible. He reminds the world that strength can wear a janitor's uniform and still outshine every influencer in the room. Because while others chase attention, Anatoly earns it, one legendary prank at a time. As the narrator of this absurd yet inspiring tale, I can only say this. The next time you see a janitor in the gym, look twice. Because behind that mop might be the man who can turn 32 kilograms of cleaning equipment into a moment the whole world will remember.